The Assyrians of Iraq are an ancient people, having lived there since the Assyrian Empire of Mesopotamia thousands of years ago. They converted to Christianity in the 1st century AD. In the summer of 2014, when ISIS began taking territory in northern Iraq, Christians, as well as Yazidis and Shia Muslims, were killed or forced to flee. So in June 2014, the Islamic State took control of Mosul. What happened after that?
In early 2015, Patriarch Gregory III from Damascus had sent out a call for help when Christian communities in northern Iraq were under siege from terrorists of the Islamic State, also known as ISIS. The call was finally answered by a man known as Madnik when ISIS opened the first modern slaves markets in Syria and Iraq, selling women and children to psychopathic terrorists. Madnik, a founding member of the Madnik Society, also known as the League of the Extraordinary Gentlemen, volunteered from 2009 to 2017 in the military campaign Global War on Terrorism of the United States of America, conducting hostage negotiations and counter-terrorist operations in Somalia, Nigeria, Gambia, in the Armenian separatist enclave of Nagorno-Karabakh, in Lebanon, in Syria, and in Iraq. It was back in April 2015 when Madnik activated the Counter-Terrorism Department, the Order 777, on request of the desperate church leader from the Middle East. The Order 777 was at the time the Special Operation Unit of the League of the Extraordinary Gentlemen. Just a few days later, Madnik launched a counter-terrorism campaign under the name Operation Nazarene, and he called on Westerners from various countries to join and participate as volunteers in the defense of persecuted minorities in the Middle East. Operation Nazarene included the transfer of volunteers security personnel into Iraq, to campaign for financial aid as well as to lead a media campaign in order to gather widespread support for the volunteers, and last but not least, to supply the volunteers with intelligence on ISIS. An example of Operation Nazarene was the volunteer Jim Atherton from the United Kingdom of Great Britain, who also became one of Madnik's most known volunteers. Jim Atherton had contacted Madnik with a message stating, "I wasted 52 years of my life doing nothing but wrong. I decided that I shall have a purpose at least one time in my life. I want to go to Iraq to defend the poor and the persecuted." Operation Nazarene was then put into action by the Special Operation Unit, the Order 777, under the command of Madnik on 27 April 2015. The planning, the logistics, the coordination and the execution of the mission was carried out by Madnik within 12 hours, and the volunteers arrived in Iraq on 28 April 2015, just 24 hours after Madnik had declared to engage directly in the defense of persecuted minorities in Iraq. The volunteers were attached by Madnik to the Assyrian Protection Unit, Dwach Nashua, and its commandant Albert Kesso. One of Madnik's greatest merits as a commander of Operation Nazarene was that he directly intervened in the war against ISIS over a period of more than 2 years, and that none of the volunteers lost his life under his command, whilst numerous innocent lives were saved. All volunteers of Operation Nazarene returned to their home countries after the defeat of ISIS in the Iraq city of Mosul in June 2017. Madnik officially announced on June 22, 2017 that Operation Nazarene had been successfully completed, concluding his declaration with the following words: "Be assured that nothing can stop the power of committed and determined people to make a difference in this world."